Welcome to Binding Blocks. The world around us consists mainly of stable nuclei, those that have just the right amount of protons and neutrons. Those all fall along this black line, the line of stability, which you can see is in the bottom of this valley. The nuclei that are not stable are called radioactive, and they all decay towards the line of stability. As you can see on this chart, the radioactive nuclei that we know of are much more abundant than the stable ones. We know of a few hundred stable nuclei, whereas about 3,000 radioactive ones. Looking towards either side of the line of stability, we have the neutron-rich side and the neutron-deficient side. If we now turn to the neutron-rich side first, those can decay in two different ways. Primarily, they decay via beta decay, and this means that the nucleus takes one of the excess neutrons and simply turns it into a proton. So this takes us one step down in terms of neutron and one step up in terms of protons, and we end up here. So the beta decay takes us along the diagonal towards stability. The other possible decay mode is neutron emission, and here we mark it by dark blue, and what the nuclei do is simply to take one of the neutrons and eject it. So that takes us one step down in neutron number, and we end up here. Going over to the neutron deficient side, the reversed two processes can occur. The red nuclei make another kind of beta decay, which means that they take one of the excess protons and turns it into a neutron. And this also takes us along the diagonal towards stability. The orange nuclei, they make what we call proton emission, which simply takes us one step down in proton number. Now, it remains to look at the nuclei in the very top part of the nuclear chart. Here, we have mainly yellow and green nuclei, and as you see, there are no black ones. There are certain combinations of neutrons and protons that are a little bit more stable than the surrounding ones. However, not stable enough to give us any black piles. This means that the nuclei up here decay in quite different ways compared to the lighter ones. So instead of going along this diagonal, they tend to go towards the lighter, stable elements. The yellow ones make alpha decay. This means that they emit a so-called alpha particle, which is the same thing as a helium nucleus, consisting of two neutrons and two protons. This, if we start from here, takes us two steps down in proton numbers and two steps down in neutron numbers, and we end up here. So we go two steps towards the lighter elements. The green ones are even more efficient in doing this. They do something that we call spontaneous nuclear fission, which means that the nucleus suddenly breaks up into two lighter nuclei. Now, we have gone through the decay modes of the nuclear chart. We have the beta decays, we have proton emission and neutron emission, we have alpha decay, and we have spontaneous fission. And all of those decays take us towards the black, towards the line of stability.